no, it's a different time, a different joke. Maybe we'll back away. Well, thank you, Adam, for that kind introduction and for what you're doing as AFP Foundation State Director here in Nevada. And Andy Abood and the Venetian and the Sheldon Adelson, we say thank you for hosting this 5th annual RightOnline conference. We're proud to be here. By the way, I mentioned the owner and founder of the Venetian, Sheldon Adelson. He's a great entrepreneur who rose from humble beginnings to eventually create this casino, many others like it across the world. He's created literally thousands upon thousands of good-paying jobs here in Nevada and across the country. And I know you're going to be shocked to hear this. I'm glad you're sitting down for it. But Harry Reid occasionally says some really stupid things, does he not? And I was reading a little bit online, and I saw a quote that, I was thinking of Sheldon Adelson. I just had to say this. I had to bring this quote up. Quote, millionaire job creators, this is according to Harry Reid, millionaire job creators are like unicorns. They're impossible to find, and they do not exist. We've got a message for you, Senator Reid. I know you're stunned to hear this, but you're wrong. They do exist. We know a lot of them, and they're creating prosperity across this country. They're the best chance of prosperity that we have. And look, I know the left hates guys like Sheldon Adelson, and frankly, our foundation chairman, David Coe. But that's okay, because we love them. Right? We love them. Well, tonight we honor someone at this 5th annual RightOnline convention who was truly revolutionary. Someone who stood in the public arena and fought unflinchingly for economic freedom and individual freedom. Tonight we honor the late and the great Andrew Wright. But that's okay, because we loved and we still love Andrew Wright. For years, literally from the beginning of our founding at Americans for Prosperity, Andrew traveled relentlessly around the country with us, inspiring our activists, making them more effective, taking on the left. I'll never forget last year at our RightOnline conference in Minneapolis. Andrew gave a scintillating speech to the folks gathered there, the activists gathered there, and then he disappeared. And we're like, where the heck did Andrew go? We look up, and we used to meet in the same city, same time as the left-wing Netroots Nation. Part of it was to coast off their media coverage, and part of it was, frankly, just to mess with them. And it was fun, wasn't it? It was fun. But eventually we matured, we grew beyond it, and now here we are in Las Vegas. I'm not sure where they are. But Andrew disappeared, and the next thing we know, literally, he's gone down the escalator from our RightOnline event. Some of you, Eric tells me you're here, you remember this. He went to their Netroots Nation conference, went in the main ballroom, and pretty soon he was surrounded by a screaming, ranting, several hundred-person band of angry, bitter leftists. I mean, it wasn't a fair fight. They didn't have a chance against Andrew. There was no chance. And I'll never forget the last time I saw Andrew. His last public appearance was at an Americans for Prosperity grassroots summit in Michigan, in Troy, Michigan. Michelle, you were there. And it was typical Andrew. He was there that evening, talking to everyone, shaking hands with everyone there. He was up late at the bar talking and having maybe 1 or 2 drinks with some folks. He was up early the next morning, gave us just an amazing speech to 1,400 inspired grassroots activists in Troy, Michigan. And later on, I was leaving the event. I was going home. My twins had a baseball game that night, so I slipped out just before it ended, and I was heading out into the parking lot to catch a taxi. And I saw Andrew in the parking lot. It was after his speech, and it was so typically Andrew. He's pacing back and forth in the parking lot. He's on his cell phone, having let's say, an animated conversation with someone, debating some issue. I don't know what it was. I could hear the only parts of it. With his other hand, he's texting on another separate cell phone. He's literally doing this. And I walked over and I got his attention and I waved at him, and he put the phone on mute. He hit the mute button, and I'll never forget his last words to me. I said to him, "Andrew, I love you, man." I did the heart thing my kids taught me. I said, "I love you, man." And he looked at me and he said, "Tim, you blanking well should." And that was Andrew too. And darn it, we should love the guy for all he did for us in this great movement and for freedom in this country. Well, tonight you're going to see 2 great films about his life. I can't wait to see the previews of them. I hope you're as excited as I am. They're going to just be, I've not seen the previews, so I'm really pumped about them. But first, you're going to hear from a very special guest. You know her and you love her. Time and again, she's demonstrated tenacity, political courage, intelligence, and a willingness to stand and fight the tough fights for the cause. She's also proven to be one of the most savvy political leaders in the country in using social media to deliver her message, which is our message of economic freedom and individual freedom and responsibility. When Sarah Palin does a Facebook post, the world stops and takes notice. Have you noticed that before? When she does it, she's used new media better, I believe, than anyone on either side to deliver our message. And so we wanted her here today. She's also been attacked unrelentingly by the left month after month and year after year. And I deeply appreciate the consistent grace under pressure this woman has shown, don't you? Yes. She has shown such a grace under pressure. And much, much lies ahead for this woman in coming years. Please welcome the former governor of Alaska and our friend, Sarah Palin!